My opinion is your hair is on point, Raz.
Raz is just on point in general.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
He's a stylish man.
It makes standing very uncomfortable. You'd rather have, you know, like a lot of spot to stand on, but he's on point at all times. I don't know, that was really bad. Well, thankfully, most people watch VOD from the start of the game, not Champs Flag, but everyone live, I'm sorry to deal with that. We are on to the Rift, though, and kalista was left up on the ban table, so grabbed right away for HoluPhoenix. Caitlyn is still the ban, overtakes as the most banned champion in the game now, I believe. So she's first place. Grats Pick'ems holders. maokai, though, comes through yet again, and Misfortune very strong.
Curious to see now how this is going to pan out, because it definitely feels like for HoluPhoenix, getting his hands on the kalista is a big win for Istanbul Wildcats. HoluPhoenix has done incredibly well when he's on these more aggressive picks like things like the kalista, the Samira, these kind of things. We've also seen the kalista ban away 76% of the time against Istanbul Wildcats. They do not get their hands on that. And now you got Starscreen kind of going back towards a late game tank in that top side. Serin going to get his hands on a carry as well. It feels like both Serin and HoluPhoenix, who've been a bit of the lifeblood of this squad, on 2 picks they're very happy with.
So Azir is going to come through. Happy to play full team fight. Okay, Kalista's really getting pressure, but Ornn and Azir signal, hey, we got some team fight power in this one. The scaling's going to look good. Overall, definitely a scary comp, and it suddenly puts a lot of pressure on DRX to find something interesting to do here. Zeka, of course, has been truly outstanding and says, you have late game, but, you know, got myself a Silas. Ooh, and Akali able to kill you in side lane.
Yeah, either way, I've been so impressed with Zeka when he's able to get his hands on these assassins. Even back when he was on Vici game, he started off with things like the Azir or these assassins that he played incredibly strong on, and we're seeing that continue now that he's on to DRX as well. So Akali going to be picked up here. You've got a very strong the maokai in the jungle is going to be very strong alongside that. If you want to look towards early skirmishes, especially if you can get Zeka a bit of an early lead, Deft going to be able to have a great impact at these early team fights as well. So bot side skirmishing looking quite strong for DRX right now.
We go to the second phase of bans right now. Junglers likely desynced. Of course, maokai is a triple flex. But I'm expecting it jungle as the Lee Sin ban comes through. We already saw Sejuani, flexible jungler, Hecarim, Poppy, Lee Sin. Could be 5 straight jungle bans here to the side of DRX.
And I think it's a good shout. I mean, especially when we're talking about Ferret, who, well, Raz highlighted on the desk, we want to see him step up. Getting him uncomfortable will be great, but just going to be the Renata now taken away from that pairing with the kalista. Still leaves things like the J4 if Ferret wants to go back towards that available for him, but we haven't really seen him go towards things like the Graves, or he is much more about facilitating his lanes more so than he is about being a carry in and of himself.
Indeed the case. Top lane ban coming through as well as they're looking at ways of dealing with the Ornn. He says, actually, okay, fine, Alistar is one, but you can still pick and engage support as BeryL runs over to Amumu. Curse the sad bullet time. An incredibly strong combo, and now in its own bottom lane. Back in the days used to be bot lane plus jungle, but now, they're joined to the hip. And it's going to make team fights scary. It actually makes it look pretty decent. Cutting through the Ornn's going to be hard, but if everyone else is in range, it's going to look okay for you. MF also a natural Kraken Slayer builder now is actually have decent frontline damage as a result. So they do have some tools dealing with Istanbul Wildcats' composition. Trundle comes in as some more frontline, targeting the maokai. And now they need to round out with the support.
Yeah, I imagine it be a LEona, something along those lines, that can at least threaten the Misfortune on the back line, but also provide good engage alongside the Ornn, but set up the kalista, the Trundle for this bot side. Especially if you can burn some summoner spells early on towards Deft, it becomes very easy, excuse me, for a Trundle pillar to come down into that bottom side of the map and set up for a little bit more. BeryL going to be potentially picked up here. No, it will be.
You were right.
I much prefer this. I think just having that solar flare that can actually interrupt Deft is going to play big wins for Istanbul Wildcats in some of these skirmishes.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid looking composition. They've definitely got real team fight power and some decent pressure in the bottom lane. Expect them to win here. Generally speaking, Amumu lanes, he is not a very naturally tanky tank. Like he's recombinant without the way out. Like he's really good at starting it, but you hope you're winning the fight at the very beginning, because otherwise he is instantly popping. It very commonly goes glacial as well, so he doesn't even have to take a keystone. Gnar going to be the final answer here. Actually, a pretty safe option. I think it should have lane pressure certainly and some team fight power. But it feels like there's a lot more sort of X factor required for DRX. The conventional team fight is so easy to pilot for Wildcats.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that a lot of that is going to be coming from HoluPhoenix as well. I've been hit or miss whenever I see teams that are willing to go for the Azir and the kalista, because when you want to try and play for a lot of these early skirmishes, Azir isn't really a mid laner that wants to try and play for that. So you're much more settled on like, hey, we're going to play off the priority that these two picks can bring. So if Ferret can kind of time that, and if Istanbul Wildcats are able to find that to set up for Dragons, set up for fights for themselves, they're in a good spot. But honestly, I think for Istanbul, like, kind of screw with the Azir, let Serin do his thing in the mid lane, and just all in and try to play through this 3v3 on the bottom side.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. Trundle should be good into both Amumu and Misfortune. If you haven't blown Pillar, you can just knock her out of bullet time faster than even like LEona could do it. You probably have the fastest knockup available in League of Legends with Trundle E, so if you're watching and you're ready for it, you just kind of kill the ult every time. And also, they both have no natural escapes. MF wants to go Kraken Slayer, so can't even like Gale Force the Pillar. You just get to go for whomever, so yeah, if you have any tracking at all on Juhan, you're like, okay, maokai is definitely top side on Raptors right now. Well, bam, off to go into your bottom lane, and you're at least blowing a flash if not killing the champion outright. So, like, I can see such a path forward where you get any info at all, 3v2 bot lane, it's a kill. It's a flash, it's a kill after. You know, you do the next time, you do it 2 minutes later. We'll see if that comes through, but I do think compositionally, this feels like a comp that is easy to play. I think the tools can work. The problem is you are against the only, I believe now, undefeated team, the first place team in the group, DRX 2-0. They have been doing so well for themselves. See if Istanbul Wildcats can find themselves a win in their third game.
And especially for DRX as well, who we are already kind of saying earlier on when we saw them play, have taken a level up. It feels like in their gameplay where they are more calculated. They are thinking through their decisions significantly more and coming in well set up and well prepared for objectives. When you're playing a composition like this, it feels like you're going to need to do so again. BeryL fishing here.
Ooh, yeah, that was nearly so spicy because you're going to get a lot of damage to that one. HoluPhoenix probably got in the tower just in time, but that would still hurt a lot and might have had to burn his cleanse regardless. So nice try. Means nothing though.
Yeah, and look, you'll see Istanbul Wildcats try to see if they can maybe get some vision control down, knowing that the Akali had moved down towards that bottom side, but all said and done, just going to go for the bit more shallow ward. Ferret will still be pathing down towards this bot side, and again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ferret go for, you know, blue, Gromp, red into a bot side gank, especially when Deft with the Make It Rain will try and push that wave in.
Worth noting that Ferret gets started his jungle camps entirely unknown. There is 0 deep vision that's relevant here for the DRX side, and he goes leashless onto the blue. So it could have been a red start into, you know, blue, like red blue Gromp gank top suddenly, and like Gnar doesn't have hop, just kind of dies randomly. Or it could be, you know, a fast towards bot side. We'll see what he goes for. It could even be a full clear. So info not there. Info definitely here that Juhan is indeed on Raptors. They may have not seen the champion, but I think no one's on Raptors this early without doing red Raptors, so they know he's pathing bot side.
And I like the ward from Serin as well, just outside the Raptors. It actually just died there, but just, you know, okay, DRX haven't gotten in here to place a ward down, so you actually, as Ferret, go, cool, I know exactly that I'm unseen here, and now it's just a question of where he wants to try and make that play. You, Juhan, as he said though, matching the play on towards bottom side of the map, I imagine he's going to try and hover in towards this bot side of the map just to make sure that Ferret can't get in, and Deft and BeryL can actually crash this wave, which they successfully do at the moment.
Yeah, so Red Raptors Gromp is the path for Juhan. This is a 3-camp level 3. You have to kill one of the big camps, Krugs or Gromp, to get that one on a 3-camp clear. Red-Blue doesn't do it. So chooses that one. Now going back to his blue just with more levels, but Trundle skips his red, flash already down, Pillar's gonna land on a Deft, and maokai, while going for a 4th camp, oh, they just can't get on the Deft anymore. Even though he had no flash, even though Pillar lands, Farfetch didn't have his E anymore. That's what blew the first flash, and DRX able to get out with just kind of, I mean, yeah, they're down a flash, but, you know, what's Square 2 gonna look like?
And that's the big thing, right? You still have the Hex Flash there for Farfetch, so he can still play quite aggressive. Ferret still has his own, so it definitely feels like now BeryL and Deft have to play significantly safe for Ferret, but I find Juhan as well.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have bot pressure right now. MF and Amumu are actually the ones pushing right now, so even though Juhan is kind of pushed around, now they've got the pressure, now they're gonna find the stun, and this could be enough to kill Amumu. The CC's gonna land, BeryL will drop first blood for the Wildcats.
Deft gonna take a lot of damage on the way out here as well.
That's
Phoenix feeling it, but will fly away at the end of that, and Serin having that control in the mid lane meant that Ferret was actually all good to go for it. So Istanbul Wildcats off to a great start here.
Amumu just so squishy, like he does not survive the 2-on-2. LEona, after a shock, yeah, she's not gonna hit back, so really, really nicely done. Something on the board. Bottom scuttle does go Ferret's way. Of course, he had skipped a lot of camps. He hasn't even touched his bottom jungle yet, whereas the maokai's practically full cleared already.
But I think that's what you needed to do here for Ferret. We already said it. Look, getting onto the board quick, making sure you're getting HoluPhoenix ahead is going to be the big win con. And the thing is, this isn't going to like let up. You can just, well, especially with Ferret leaving a bunch of his camps in the spot side up, he can clear onto the top side, get that camp that's just respawning, and immediately move back down to this bottom lane and just continue that pressure on towards Deft and BeryL. And when we've seen Deft step up to be the main carry, like be the guy that has been so crucial for DRX in regional playoffs, setting him behind and getting HoluPhoenix ahead feels like a great win condition for Istanbul Wildcats.
Zeka up in farm now in the mid lane. You can see 9 CS lead, though some to farm for Serin. Still looks really good. Both supports are around. They're going to try anyway. Ease backwards already. BeryL spotted, but Ferret's right here. Yeah, maokai was nearby. Probably wasn't really the play to take right then, as maybe the re-engage from Zeka onto Azir would have been too much. So no play in the mid lane. Wave will get accepted here, and he'll get almost all the farm. Drops a couple of casters, but not a big deal.
Good ward control from DRX around this mid lane as well. You can see they picked up Scuttle topside. There's a ward just on the wraparound bush at the back of blue. Like, everything was there for DRX to spot if there was anything unusual happening around Zeka in this mid lane. So Farfetch will just move back down to the bottom side, and Zeka again will just continue to farm it up. Already, nice little bit of a CS lead as well with all the shenanigans that have been pushed in towards this mid lane.
Level 6 coming soon. The wave that crashes at about 6 minutes is the one that gives you level 6. So, 5:45, generally the timer for it. Keep that in mind. 6 minutes, people are level 6. There it is. Zeka takes that part of the wave, and he has the ulti. Suddenly lethality goes up a whole lot.
Yeah, I think at the moment, if DRX are able to kind of steady the ship on this bot lane, like you can see Deft and BeryL actually have the wave in a really good spot at the moment, which makes it tough for Trundle to actually make any sort of play happen on this bottom side, especially as we talked about, right? Clearing from these respawn camps on the top side into bot. So at the moment, DRX playing safely around the fact that they're down summoner spells, and Juhan is here, but we'll spot Ferret.
Going to see each other, but it's not going to mean too much right now. Yeah, sure, Ferret got to see some stuff, but yeah, eats the sapling, let's get rid of the vision there. But able to help his bot lane shove it in. Looks like it's not even really an important recall timer. They've already got Noon Quiver. It was a recent recall. Maybe it's going to be a dragon play. Sweeper is on for Farfetch. Where are the wards? Can we get this one? You can see DRX plays the lane very aggressively, pushing up for it. Means they don't really get to play Drake because it'd be so easy for Amumu MF to show up. Zeka at level 6. It's Serin pushing the wave in. Juhan's already here, level 5 with the maokai. Actually levels up onto Ferret. 2 camps ahead. Almost 6 for HoluPhoenix on the kalista. That will be very important. Let's Farfetch get away with pretty much anything.
Nicely done by DRX though. So Deft and BeryL weather the storm with no summoner spells. They crash the wave as well, so they deny access to the dragon. And even having Zeka match the TP back from Serin into mid lane so he can match the wave state means Istanbul Wildcats can't actually grow their advantage in towards dragon. And now the big question is what happens when we move over towards the Rift Herald. A minute until that spawns. We still have decent control here in the river for DRX. Juhan as well moving in to get further vision control.
Sapling could theoretically steal if Smite's not up. Looks like it's going to be fine though for the Trundle. He indeed claims it. No big problem there. Upgraded Smite there. Zeka making sure Juhan doesn't need any help. If there's a pillar play or something, it's fine. You can see that DRX are overall farming better with the gold lead despite being down first blood. 10 in the top lane, 10 in the mid lane.
Very early reset from HoluPhoenix and Farfetch though. You can see they're actually going to make it back towards this bot wave right as the wave is going to crash from Deft and BeryL. So opportunity for BeryL to leave bot lane and have that first roam up towards the Rift Herald if they want to. And honestly, I think with the way that the map is set up at the moment, Juhan can potentially make a play in towards or up towards this top side or even towards mid lane if he wants to, using the fact that BeryL's there just to buy even more space. But looks like DRX going to take it nice and slow, and without Deft really being in a position to crash that wave as quickly as he's hoping.
kalista gets an idea that maokai's probably not in that brush. They could have gotten around the vision cone. We do have Rift Herald spawning. And oftentimes we see that fight between 8 and 9 minutes that there's going to be a play to be had. Control wards in the bottom side still. Ferret will spot this one. He would like to go toward Deft. Doesn't get much for it. So the attack speed knocks that one down. We'll see if he looks at the Dragon Pit as well. Nice. Little double up there onto HoluPhoenix. And again, with their jungler around, Wildcats have no problem going for the bot side. We see LEona starts it up, damages the minions, puts the sunlight down, and lets HoluPhoenix kill a little bit faster. But the bullet time's going to look pretty good. Good hop to the side, HoluPhoenix. With the presence of mind to Q, then sideways. Serin has mid-pressure with Akali under the tower. This Drake should be claimed. I mean, no MF full. I don't know how you win this fight, but DRX are walking up. They've got Akali now coming down as well. But is there a chance for a play? They know where BeryL is. A flash over the wall for the stun. They could lock down Amumu. He ults one, not even. He's going to be interrupted by kalista, but Ferret now has to flash away. Akali's in. Zeka gets the kill. kill, and the re-dive comes in. Serin can't get it, but HoluPhoenix is through for one. Ulti coming across for a bunch more. Cliff's down for the double kill. HoluPhoenix still alive, but Juhan could lock him down. The flash in for Zeka gets another, and it's DRX winning this fight. They don't need bullet time. They've got the kills, and it's going to be 4-2 in the bottom river.
Istanbul Wildcats end up so separated on that fight, and DRX are able to deal with the piece by piece. Now a bunch of kills for Zeka in this mid lane. We talked about how good he is on the Akali. We're about to see it once more. So as we come into this, you see HoluPhoenix hops over the wall here with Farfetch to get on towards BeryL, but nobody from Ferret or Serin really wants to try and follow. Great ult from Juhan as well to keep the mid-jungle of Istanbul Wildcats in check. And now HoluPhoenix is just out of the fight, right? Zeka's able to get on towards the back line, and this is where it gets a little bit dangerous, but Deft is able to take care of Serin alongside Zeka, and then they just chase down HoluPhoenix once more. So nicely done by DRX to kind of write themselves into a position where they could clean up that fight.
In the early game pressure, I understand the idea, right? Fight around the Kalista. We know there's no AD carry ultimate. We should have the power level for it. It doesn't happen. DRX comes away 1,000 gold ahead. Still a very fast shield bow, under 10 minutes. HoluPhoenix was the one to get not only the first blood from the gank, but both kills in this fight as well. So the strong AD carry still here, playing for the first dragon. This one, they're gonna try again for round 2. Missing one of the ults, but they've got LEona as they land the stun. They've got a ton of damage and BeryL drops, but the bullet time is landed perfectly. Kill 1, 2, and 3. You thought you caught BeryL, but he baited you in. And another team fight goes to DRX.
They mistimed the ultimates because Deft had used it in the lane and out of the fight. The Misfortune ult is up in time for that next play, and that's another kill going over. The dragon is gone. And I mean, this Rift Herald is still just sitting on the top side as well, so if DRX feel like they can try and move up towards that as well, with those 4 kills, a 10-stack Dark Seal for Zeka in this mid lane.
Oh yeah, he is huge. The roams have been great. He was the cleanup in the first and second fights now at 4-0 and 3. 100% kill participation. The entire bot side basically has that right now. BeryL, ooh. The caster minions moved a little bit weird. Could not get onto the first target. Could not find the play because of no flash, but ulti nearly would have been able to land. Serin's still poking away at Zeka, staying alive for now.
But again, we were kind of talking about for Istanbul Wildcats, they really wanted to try and use the mid and bot power that they could get to look for these dragons, but unfortunately hasn't been the case. And again, just brilliant Misfortune ults coming through from Deft. Position over the wall, nobody's really able to deal any damage to him, and BeryL, even though he does go down, baits a very big overextension.
He's gonna try again. Stopwatch here, but is there enough time? Because Deft coming around. No bullet time though. Ultis to buy a little bit. The auto's coming through. They re-stun. And Deft, can he kite away? He has cleanse, but will it matter? Zeka's on the way. They'll find the stun, but he cleanses it. And we're gonna get more kills. You tried your hardest, and it's not gonna matter. Kingen does not have flash. He gets the double hop off a minion. Buys a lot of space, but Ferret gets the slow. He should get the kill. Nah, he's gotta have it. You've gotta be able to reach him, and he does. 400 gold picked up.
Wait, here comes Juhan, the 1v2 for the tree. I don't know if you win that one, but look, sometimes you just gotta look terrified, right?
I gotta say though, I love this build for Juhan. So, Demonic Embrace is very good on Maokai, because it turns out he has good AP ratios, he has some dots on the kit, he has low cooldowns. If you're a little bit ahead and you're like, let's make sure they die, Demonic is the item that's gonna kill him. Goodbye. Oh, the smite. Oh, that was pretty cute, but he still gets it despite the smite. There's a sapling. A little bit of AP. Thank you very much. Kill picked up. TY for leash, TY for domination. Stun coming across though. Maokai ult will be blocked for 1. A little bit of time there. Farfetch now no longer has the aftershock, but they can have Serin come in. Beautifully timed! Underneath the wall. It does not get pushed around. Farfetch is the front line, but he is low on health. W times out. Zeka could chase it in. Chooses not to. A flash to safety. HoluPhoenix chunked low. Here comes the rest of it. Zeka is godlike. A nice pickup there for Kingen. Bullet time over the top. Serin should drop. Cannot find the Akali kill. And Starscreen forced to run away. Ferret, yeah, he's in the base. Not going to mean anything. 13-5 now. DRX are walking over him.
So what is the earliest 25-stack majors we've had over the season? Because we're getting real close to it. It's already 22, and we're not even 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at under a minute before he finds the next kill. So I'm gonna put it at sub 15 minutes. He gets the 25 stack of guys.
That is, oh, Zeka's just popping off this game. This is definitely the performance that DRX wanted to show. And again, I mean, DRX, we already talked about it, right? Beating RNG, these guys look like the strongest team in the group, and they don't want to let anyone tear that down. Deft now just going to back away as Farfetch comes over the wall, but look, just look at the amount of vision that's on the map for them right now. The entire space is littered with red wards.
Deft went Swifty. He's like, I just need to run away from pillar engages. A flash out for Ferret. Is that going to go in? R2 in a sec. Oh, this would kill him. So you can't go for it. Would be locked down every single time. Like Kalista and LEona doesn't give away the Magi stacks. Sadly, we were so close.
So
by the way,
30 seconds.
If he R2'd in her tower, he would get 25 stacks. He'd lose them, but I would have been right.
Yep. The technical right is the best.
Zeka is inting me. It's Schrodinger's 25 stacks because he could have ulted at that point in time, and, you know, might have been the case. Flash away for Deft. Nice sidestepping. Predicts where Farfetch is going to go. Still scoop backwards, though. Cannot outrun the soldiers, and a shutdown comes through. Kingen jumps in for Ferret. Can't get him yet, though. Pillar in the way. Not an easy way out. No flash, no hope, and shutdown again comes through now.
All right, nice job from Istanbul. Well, they end up spotting that Zeka's on the bot side. No TP, so Serin moves in towards the top side. Now, BeryL?
Gonna take demonic embrace damage. Let him get the kill. He smites him. Q. Yeah, Juhan on the killing spree. Turret falls as well. Thank you, demonic embrace. Can keep running through his saplings when they come back from cooldown, but it's about to be in a 1 versus 3. Gets away from the first knockup. Still pushed around. No flash available. And as DRX play a little... Oh, that's a nice ult.
The heal. Oh.
Yeah, almost enough.
But now 10 seconds until Dragon, and there's no Juhan on the map, so Istanbul Wildcats, if they can get the reset, might be able to try and contest, but it's looking a little bit tough for them at the moment, just with everyone on DRX coming back out of the map. Zeka as well, still 7-0-6, but this is actually nice, right? They spot Zeka, clearing the wave on bot side. Serin immediately TPs into the play, because it's like, okay, well now at least we can try and force some sort of numbers advantage. Yeah. So nice job from Istanbul Wildcats to play the map out and spot where DRX had overextended it.
Overall, like the solar flare, because the only way to dodge it is to run like toward the ward your teammates like TPing to. So it's like, you can dodge my ult, but you just die to Azir if it happens. So I think even though it missed, and okay, it was sidestepped, column A, column B, it still worked very well. The chase down's fun. Never gets sapling into a brush, unfortunately. I probably, maybe should have thrown it a bit farther down, but and they always get the kill. But enough time was bought that everyone else shows up.
And Juhan, unfortunately, not able to get out. I wasn't sure when I saw the BeryL ult and also the heal that he might have been able to get out, but
yeah, the pass is so strong. There's so much health on it.
Yeah, you see it there.
180.
So close. I think if BeryL just caught the Kalista with that ultimate, the Curse Side Mummy as well, might have been able to get out, but either way, nicely done by Istanbul Wildcats. Still, though, a sizable goal lead for DRX. Second Dragon will go across to DRX as well. Looks like Ferret going to try and trade this with maybe a play on top side, but Kingen reading this, going to reset, but is he quick enough?
Yep, Pillar's easily there. He could have gotten with the auto attack, but makes the safe option. Flashes up there, gets away from the Ornn. Ferret, I think, didn't know how far into the recall he was, but he definitely had enough time, like from spectator vision, to auto and then save the Pillar, but didn't quite know. Pillar just have to recall, and it means that Flash is enough to get out instead of Flash into Pillar killing him. But it is an objective bounty. It is a little bit more money into the pockets. Wildcats trying to catch as best they can, but about to lose a more important turret here in mid.
Yeah, maybe even bot as well. Zeka pushing in there, but Serin just walks away. Should be fine here.
You don't want this one down. He's got a little bit too far to his team. You can W him, but you get always shoved back into the turret and die.
Look at the top side though. Istanbul Wildcats trying to set up a pick here. I really like that they're going for this.
Yeah, all right, Kingen. We know he's no flash, but he's nearly Mega Gnar. That makes it so tough. Ferret's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just play in this rush, look for Krugs. Maybe HoluPhoenix can beat Kingen. Oh, there's more going on though. Guess what? You got everybody coming across. The house is gonna land. You're walking up to the wall. The stun's gonna land, and you've got Akali. Zeka gets the kill. Legendary, but on the bottom side, Deft is gonna drop, and Juhan gets some damage. Amumu can go for broke. Farfetch is tanky. Ignite. He needs to dodge the Q. He's gonna cry on him instead. Lands the bandage toss, and that man's gonna need to go to the hospital. You hack in 35 seconds. Farfetch. Nah, I don't know how you're gonna get away from this one. Oh, there's a blast point. You can execute. There's a sapling. Nah, they know. Oh, that is pretty beautiful. That is a nice attempt to try to get all the way back, but we know Juhan's going to catch him. Would love to hand over the assist. Can't do it. Give it to the... Oh.
Yeah. He's going to give it to the Sav.
The Sav would have been funny.
But either way, I mean, look, we're still getting a lot of trading back and forth. I'm not going to say that this game has been the most strategic one, but it's definitely been a hell of a lot of fun. It was how this is going.
It was Istanbul Wildcats like playing towards their early game ahead bot lane and trying to take fights in the early game. I get it. DRX like, we got ahead enough? Cool. Magi second item, like, let's just have some fun. We're going demonic. Like, he's not even finishing Sunfire. He's going Merlin now. Like, we're just getting AP maokai.
Zeka just straight up bought a Shadow.
Oh yeah.
Just like off rip.
Yeah.
Like, he is so fed. But again, DRX, like, all the towers are going down. They're still coming out ahead mostly in these trades. They're still getting the dragons, right? No Rift Chart to speak of, just with Baron to spawn in 30 seconds. But either way, Istanbul Wildcats, I like that they're not just rolling over. They're actually trying to make these plays. They are exploiting the fact that DRX are like overextending the sidelines a little bit. So it's good to see them still trying their best to keep in touching distance. And if, for example, you end up with a bunch of kills on Serin, like an Ornn Azir in the late game is still going to be a very terrifying prospect.
Yeah, he's still got a fun game out of it, and you're right, the scaling is there. So there is a world where DRX plays sloppily enough, the gold stays close enough, and we find ourselves with late game ornaments, Azir, the whole shebang. Problem is, you've still got a very large deficit playthrough. 2 Dragons 0 already on the way towards an Inferno Soul to make the Akali even more threatening. On pace for a 27-minute Soul attack.
DRX just starting to take over control of this top side. They know that Baron is up, so especially when they already have 2 dragons, being able to fluctuate between the Baron and the 3rd dragon, whether they want to take one or the other. And they don't traditionally have a composition that's going to be great at taking the Baron, but even if you can try and bait Istanbul Wildcats into position there, you can easily turn with the likes of Juhan there.
There we go, on to the Baron. Information gain doesn't matter. BeryL level 10 here on Amumu. Both the stun duration does not scale with rank. As far as crowd control is concerned, BeryL is full power. And you can see they're like, you know what? We're not gonna fight you for it. Amumu's in fog, Zeka's coming towards us. You know what, it's yours. Just take it, give you that one, no big deal. Mid-wave claimed, Dragon up in 1 minute, and Starscreen may have waited around for too long. He kind of sat there, like with S pressed for a while. Maybe this will be a team fight. Ornn is gonna catch a lot of people in a corridor. They get a double stun, but it's not gonna mean much.
Just trying to back away here. So nicely done by DRX. We kind of talked about it. It's not exactly the quickest Baron take in the world, but they knew they were very capable of turning as soon as they got that opportunity. I like that Juhan has just completely abandoned any tank item and all is going for the Relonobicon now as well. So definitely DRX feeling comfortable with this one. Baron in tow. The side lane opportunities for Zeka and Kingen now are absolutely sky high. And again, this is a dominating performance from the team that has been #1 in this group.
3-0 versus 0-3 pretty soon. You have to get into top 4 if you want to stay alive for the knockout stage of the play-ins. The Wildcats with only 2 games to play, need wins, and probably both, most likely both of their last 2 games if they can't come back into this one to stay alive in the tournament.
And look, at least for Istanbul Wildcats, right, this isn't exactly a fight that they were ever expected to win, right? But they're still a team that has a lot of pride, especially for the Turkish region. Like, Galatasaray lost the Beyond Gaming and Worlds 2021, which meant that they didn't get into groups, and then MSI was supposed to be the redemption arc for the Turkish region, but unfortunately only able to pick up 1 win against Red Cannons. Istanbul Wildcats weren't quite able to do the TCL proud, but still Istanbul Wildcats, like, they are a team that has represented the TCL 3 out of the 4 splits that this team has been together, so it's definitely one that is synonymous with the TCL. We just have to see if they can find their reputation against some of the other teams.
I'm gonna try right now. Here we go, a 4v1, but Zeka jumps around, jumps over, gets knocked up, but will it matter? I think still holding on to his final charge R2, and indeed gets out.
I wasn't sure what just happened there.
So HoluPhoenix landed his E, but got yoinked back by Kalista, so he didn't follow his target to like set up a stun combo. End of the day, again, R2 is being held by Akali, who's pretty much always gonna get out from that one. And now we get to see a little bit more happening right now. Obviously the 3rd Drake was claimed, no problem. 4th one in just over 4 minutes. Kingen holds the front line for now, not an easy target. Pretty tanky, 2.5 items. The half item being a stopwatch, pretty strong to be honest. And not gonna be a problem here, DRX. Happy to keep going. We see a side lane play now as Akali likes to finish the tower. Will do so, and Ornn says, okay, I understand. It's all yours.
Yeah, Zeka just keeping pressure onto that top side. He's going to pick up the blue buff as the rest of DRX start to push on in. You even got the Kingen stopping his reset as well, just to keep the pressure on this bot lane inhibitor. So trying to milk as much as possible out of this Red Bull Baron power play. Only 10 seconds left, but I mean, they should be able to get both the inhibitors regardless.
Waves go down. Feeling good. Farfetch gonna look to change, but yeah, Gnar has a stopwatch. They're gonna try. Here we go, the chance at a 3 versus 1. BeryL coming around, not a big deal himself as the flash is down, the stopwatch dodges the stun. There's now a dive into the base itself. They'll find one and have to collect themselves and answer the push. The inhibitors had not yet been killed. Top lane is pushed in. Mid inhib will drop to Deft, and now Zeka would like this fight. Farfetch has no cooldowns. HoluPhoenix about to have no life left. Legendary for Zeka. The 20-pack Magi is doing a lot there. Gets a second now as well. Bot lane for Wildcats is dead as they push for the base.
HoluPhoenix says holy moly as Zeka absolutely decimates him. Now DRX starting to push on through. And there are no help bars. I mean, Juhan and Zeka not exactly at their looking their best or peak performance, so DRX will just back away, happy that they could get both the inhibitors and make that top lane look very shaky as well.
Yeah, still feeling like a DRX likely. Ooh, I like this knockup. Zeka, though, actually gets knocked out of his E, so a chance here for Starscreen, but there are reinforcements. Juhan is here. Mumo's gonna land at a 2 as well. Zeka, does he have the cooldowns? Yes, he does. Dives in, kills the Azir. Ulti not gonna do much of anything. Starscreen now running back. BeryL's starting to be up relatively soon. Where's he walking? All right. This Ornn is far away. The pillar, a little bit more time.
I want the bloodthirsty support. I need it in my life, but I mean, Kingen and the rest are just taking the base.
And there we go, nearly the kill. Kalista ult gonna find that first stun, maybe. Zeka knocked up, and Trundle goes down. Ulti still burned to stay alive. No, that is the shot by BeryL. Knocked back over. Ignite is on. He's crying, and he's gonna die. BeryL gets the solo kill on Starscreen.
And that is the real play of the game right there. BeryL for MVP, as now they go into the turrets.
And they'll get the last couple. Nice stop on HoluPhoenix, but Juhan, Q, thank you, Demonic Embrace, thank you, AP Ratio, thank you, Extra Kill, 24-10, DRX, and made it an entertaining game. The first 10 minutes, they got the lead. The early scraps went their way, and they made a show out of it. Turrets will fall, Nexus will drop, DRX get their 3rd win.
And we're gonna have to ask who put Zeka as the highest KDA, because 11-0-8 coming out of that one. Even actually padding the scoreline a little bit more. Zeka really want to make sure he gets his name in the scorecard.
Well, very well done. Unexpected result, to be fair, but I'm glad of the way it happened. I think Wildcats had a strategy in mind. I don't think it was an unsound sort of tactical set of choices, but execution was so much better every time. Just DRX played those fights out better, and they got the lead, had a bit of fun with it.
But I gotta say, like, I like some of the answers that Istanbul Wildcats came in with, right? Look, they fell behind, don't get me wrong, but being able to, you know, make that TP in towards mid lane, catch Deft when he's overextended, like, there's so many teams that are in that position